Welcome everybody, this is Shadow Chop from TryGamer Studios here with another video, and this is a tutorial video on using several different things like NPC Editor and using trainer commands also for Pixelmon and a few other things we're going to go over along with scoreboards. Don't forget to stick around to the end to see the rest of Saffron. So I'm working on currently one of the maps I'm working on for Minecraft, and that's a remake of Fire Red basically. Mixture of Fire Red and Leaf Green, but mostly based on Fire Red, with some of the Leaf Green additives on their only side into the game itself, like the Pokemon in the wild and such. So in this map, we're currently in Saffron, and this is the fighting gym where you get to get a Hitmonlee or Hitmonchan. And back here, of course, I got the command blocks set up back here. If you don't know how to use command blocks, I'll be going over it in this video as well for the basis, just basic things that I've been using, like making this map and a few things I've learned and tricks that I would like to share with you guys. First, we're going to start with the NPC editor. Of course, you can't get this item just basic in-game. You got to search it up in your creative menu just by typing in NPC, and you see it's a little Steve. And all you do is you find a spot where you want to lay it down, make sure it's a solid spot. You can't just pop it off in the air. We're going to kind of make the guy that's supposed to be in this area, but just a basic. When you right click, you get to choose between all these different choices. You get an NPC trainer, which is your trainer that you're battling against. A trader, you trade Pokemon with a specific Pokemon you set to what you want it to be. A chatting NPC, somebody that just talks as you talk to them, or you can set up with trainer commands for it to do something when you interact with it. Move relearner, move tutor, nurse and doctor, same thing, just different skin. And then shopkeeper. We're going to go into an NPC trainer. Now there's several things we're going to see in here. First, you got a name. Now, a thing to note, if you want to keep a certain name after you've make sure you choose everything you want to happen first. And then lastly, name it, and then click OK before you click on anything else so it saves the name. So, for instance, if I just type in Bob, and then I go to More, it goes back to Steve. You gotta click OK, make sure you do that. Another thing you want to make sure is if you want this trainer to be battled multiple times, there's these options right here. You got once. If it's battled once, whoever battles him first, that's it. After he's defeated, he disappears. And then there's once per player, once per Minecraft day, once per day, and unlimited. In this world, of course, I set it to once per player, so everybody has a chance to play each trainer once. So we're going to go ahead and set it on that. Your battle AI style is random, aggressive, tactical, or advanced. Default, you can keep on default unless you want somebody specifically to be more aggressive or more tactical, etc. Your movement, what you want it to do. Of course, he's going to be standing still. And then, of course, boss type. This basically sets what his Pokemon is going to be like, based off of who you're playing against, no matter what you put over here. He's, of course, not going to be a boss, so I don't want it to be like that. Then we got your model. Now, here's a good thing you want to do. Like, this is supposed to be a black belt, but if you go through here, the list for the basic models, there is no black belt option. But there is a black belt skin underneath the talking NPCs. Now, the way to get that is we're going to come down under Steve, make sure the model is Steve. Make sure you go down to Custom Resource Pack. Type in here, and then right here is what we're going to want to go to this website right here, which is the pixelmonmon.com wiki for under the NPCs, which I'll put in the link below. It has everything you need to know about NPC editor. And at the bottom it has the skins. And underneath each of them it has what their name is underneath. And we're going to go and find the black belt underneath chatting NPCs. And there he is. Now there's Battle Girl Black Belt. We're using Black Belt in this one because this is how it was in Fire Red. And that is the name we're going to be using. That's what he's labeled as. That's what he's going to be underneath. So let's go ahead and go back to Minecraft here, and we're going to type in black belt, all one word, because that's what it's spelled. and then we're going to click enter. Boom. His skin is now the black belt skin. Now if you want any your own custom skins, you got to make sure they're inside the resource pack named. I'm still working on getting it to work properly. I'm still having issues with it. Once I get it figured out and fully working the way I want it to, I'll definitely release a video for it. But it's still an issue currently. Now, of course, we can go over here to more. You got your greeting, what they say to you when you first click on them and interact with them. You got your win. What happens if they win, and then what happens if they lose. Afterward, you got your setting money, however much you want that to be, if any, and then the added drops. You want to enter the name or ID. Then we go to Pokemon. The Pokemon here. You can randomize his team. You can import and export specific Pokemon and a team. Specific Pokemon, you go into the Pokemon, import, edit, and it's going to bring in one. If you want to copy one, like this Wormadon, we can go ahead and click copy. Go ahead and click OK, and we're going to turn Cradily into one. Import, export, click paste. Now it's that, save. Now you don't have to copy everything that you just did if somebody has a specific amount of Pokemon and you want them to be the same thing or a whole area. Whatever you want to do, you can do it right there. Make sure that for the names you put in the proper name. And for things like Nidoran, you gotta type in female. Afterwards, turn into that. And for the male version, you just type in male, for instance. Also, you can change its level, give it a nickname, choose its shiny. Sometimes you gotta watch out for using ginormous Pokemon in smaller areas. Sometimes they'll glitch out, so be careful with ginormous. Having trainers with ginormous unless it's an open area. You can also change its abilities, its IVs, minimum, random, reset them, its happiness, everything. You can do all of that in here, even delete the Pokemon. And then you can also delete the trainer. But we're going to go ahead and leave him there for that. Now for this, I've already created the scoreboard, what I'm going to need. But to create a scoreboard, if you don't know how to create a scoreboard, you type in command scoreboard. And then of course you can look up all these commands on Google. I can put in a link for the commands for this as well. And to create an objective, you want to type in scoreboard objectives. Make sure it's objectives, not objective. Then you're going to want to type in add, because you're adding an objective. Then you're going to want to give the name for the objective. And I did F Gym for this one. But we're going to go ahead and not use that one. I'm just going to give an example. We're going to type in G Gym. And then we're going to put in dummy, so it can only be changed by code. And then you want to put in the name again. I keep it the same name just so I don't get anything mixed up. Those can be very differently, but one of them is very specific that you got to use, and it's the one that's right after add. Now once you add that, you just push enter. Now your new objective is successfully created. Now I can start using that in whatever I want to do, like inside these command blocks, which will be coming here soon. But first we're going to go to trainer commands. Make sure you have it installed. Make sure you're using it, because now we can act like this is a command block itself in him. To do this, you make sure you go into /tedit. That's the way I remember. Space add, because we're going to add a command to a NPC. And then you're going to want the command this is where you type in the command. Now when I talk to him, I want him to change this objective. Because basically how the game is how I want it to work is that when you beat him in a battle, you'll be able to go over here and select one of these and get your Pokemon afterwards. And then you won't be able to do it again, Because in the game, once you beat him, you'll be able to select one of these, and then that's it. Now, of course, with the scoreboard, it'll allow me to be able to do this without anybody constantly clicky. So for the trader command, you put him as a command block for what we want him to do. You want to put slash tetit add or set, but we're going to put add. Then you want to make it what type of interaction it is. Is it interact? Is it upon win? Or is it upon loss? Now we want to make sure that when we're battling against him, we want the command to happen if we win. We win. So you want to add loss, because this means he's losing. The NPC is losing. And then we're going to want to put in the command, which will be scoreboard players, because we're targeting players in specific. Make sure it's players, not player. Scoreboard players, and we want it to set and there's set, add, or remove. Set is what number you want to set it to be. Add is adding the number, whatever you put on there, to the number that you already have, and then remove is removing from your current number. We want it to set a number for this current command. So we set. Now we want to. What are we setting? So at player. We want the player closest, but you can at all, at player, at a specific person. Player set at player. We're going to want to put in the objective, which is FGem. I know we created the G-gem, but that was just an example. I already had the FGem put in already, so we're going to be using FGem. And then what number you want it to be. I want this specifically set to 1 because that's what the coding behind him is set for. And then once that is finished, make sure that you have the tetit add loss scoreboard players set at PGM 1. Now it says please right click the Pokemon Any. Make sure you don't have the NPC editor up in your hand when you do this. Make sure you have an open hand or something else. Right click them. The command is now added. Now to make sure the command is on him, what we do is type slash tetit list. And then we right click him. And it shows us what he has. He has no battle start commands, no forfeit commands, no interact commands, but he has loss commands. 1, scoreboard players set. Let's go ahead and click that. Scoreboard players set at players. FGem 1. This trainer has no win commands. Good to know. Now when I beat him, it should change my code. Now we're going to make sure we watch the command change. So what we do is you type in slash scoreboard objectives set display sidebar, and then our objective name, which is FGem. Now since my number I have no number currently as a player, nothing's showing. But as soon as I beat this guy over here, it will be. Let's go ahead and whomp him down just real quick. Alright, now that I beat him, the server set my score for 2-1. And now you can see it on the right. Now, here's a good tip for you. If you want to hide that after testing, all you got to do is type in basically the exact same code, except erase the objective, and it hides it. It just sets it back to default. But we're going to go ahead and turn it back on so we can watch. Now that it's set to 1, these are not active. So we're going to go ahead and look at the command blocks back here and take a look at this. Now, the first one here, as you see, they're different colors. The first one's just a basic command block with the impulse setting, unconditional, and it needs redstone to activate. And it has a console command up here. It's slash test4 at player score FGem equals 1, score FGem equals minimum 1. Now, what this means is the slash test4 means it's testing for at player. Now make sure you see right here, there's no space in between here. Make sure that the P The app P is right there with the bracket when you're testing the score. This all has to be one whole thing, no spaces. That's an issue I kept running into, was wondering what was going on. So we're going to go ahead, and what you do is inside these brackets, you're going to put score, always going to be score, underscore, and then the name of your objective, that is testing, equals whatever number you want it to be testing for. What do you want it to be? And then you want to put a comma there. Score underscore the objective name again, underscore minimum, min for minimum, equals whatever number you want this to be. Now this gives you the range. This makes sure that the number is 1. Because if this said score underscore fgym equals 5, any number between 0 and 5 would work for this. But we want this specifically test for 1. Now next up is a chain command block. For this we want to make sure it's set for chain, conditional, and always active. Make sure that the always active is on, or it won't work at all. Unless there's a redstone signal nearby to activate it as well, which you want it to set this. Up here in the console command, now I have it to where it sets the command to 2, so that you can't click this button again and have this happen again and get the Pokemon again. And by doing that, I just move the command up. And by doing a console command, scoreboard player set at player fgym2. As you've seen with the guy, he changes it to 1. This one sets it as 2. You just use the same command there. And then last up, this is the Poke command for giving Hitmonlee. Pokegive at player, the name of the Pokemon, and then the basic level range that you want it to have, and make sure it's chain, conditional, always active. And that's basically how that's set up there. So let's go ahead and click one of these. And as you see, my fgym is now changed to 2. Of course, he was sent to my PC. So I got the PC in here. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab that. Throw that down. And as you see, there is Hitmonchan. Of course, he's level 47 because it basically gives you a range around that 30. But I see you got him. And it works just fine. Now, of course, if I go back in here, put it back in there, I cannot get either one of them now since my link to pass is set to 2. Now, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to remove these things. First, to remove the command off of him. Now, you want to make sure, let's go ahead and edit list. And we're going to right click on him. Now, see, there's this command, so we know what it was. So we're going to go edit, remove. Of course, I can go up and just change what I added to him. Change the add to loss, not to, the add to remove. But we're going to go ahead and just type it back in fully. So edit, remove, and then we're going to put in the command. It's going to be make sure that it is on loss, because it's from the loss commands. And then scoreboard, players, set, at P, F, gym, 1. And now the command is removed. Now let's go ahead and edit list. Right click him, he has no commands. And that's how we did that, or you can, you can just get rid of him. Now to get rid of, if you want to reset your score up there so you can retest this and test it over and over again, you can either type in, if you want to put it to a specific number, you type in scoreboard, players, because we're still affecting players in general. Added a little extra space there on accident. And then we're going to put remove at P, because I could just put in my specific name, but I'm the only one currently on the server. So it's going to do it at me. It's a little bit faster. Make sure you put in what objective, excuse me. Fgym is going to be the 1, and how much you want to remove. I'm going to go ahead and just remove 1. and it goes back down to 1. And of course, I can go do this again. I'm going to go ahead and click that and show you. Now it's back to 2. I'll delete him again later. Now to fully wipe out the command or command on everybody in the area or everybody on the server, we're going to type in scoreboard, players, reset at all, and we're going to make sure you put in the objective, FGem. And now the whole score is reset. Of course, I still have the display up, which I'm going to go ahead and take that off now as well. Scoreboard, objectives, set display, sidebar. And now since I'm just clearing it off, I'm just going to click that. Now it's cleared to sidebar. It's not going to point back up. If I go and, set my score back up to 1, it's going to be gone. Now, to remove an objective, it's basically done the same way. Scoreboard, objectives, remove, gem, that should be it. Yep, there we go. And now that objective is fully removed since I'm not going to use it. And as I promised for sticking around, I'm going to go ahead and show you what we got done as Saffron so far. Just for you guys. Enjoy. There you have it, guys. There's Self-Co, and this is Saffron. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it helps you out. Leave a comment down below of anything you might need help with, any questions. I'll try to help you out to my best I can. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to see more. If there's anything else you guys need help with and want me to make a video of, please comment down below about that as well, and I'll do whatever I can. See you guys next time.